What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and always something seems to happen when we leave the studio.
Literally.
It really does, but this is the news that we've all been waiting for, people.
The second we pressed end stream, this bloody breaks.
We've got those three beautiful words by Fabrizio Romano. We have got a bomber from David Ornstein as well. So David Ornstein was the first one to break it, and let me just try find it. Just one sec.
It's big news, people. It's
too
big
exciting.
News.
So David Ornstein says, Tottenham Hotspur reached total agreement with West Ham to sign Mohammed Kudus, deal for 24-year-old West Ham forward in the region of £55 million, medical scheduled for Thursday ahead of Ghana International joining Tottenham on a 6-year contract. And then we got the words from Fabrizio Romano as well.
Those famous three words.
Exactly, and he said, breaking, Mohammed Kudus to Tottenham, here we go. Deal in place for £55 million from West Ham. Kudus only wanted Tottenham, and he will now sign a 6-year contract at Tottenham. Medical test booked in London on Thursday, then all signed as per David Ornstein. And then he followed on from that and he said Mohammed Kudus didn't want to negotiate with any other club apart from Tottenham Hotspur. Clear intentions as revealed as last week, and now deal done as Kudus will become a Tottenham player this week.
Can't believe this deal. We've got it over the line. You know what? Credit to Daniel Levy. We've been screaming pretty much every day, pay the bloody money, get this deal done early. But not only have they got the deal done early, they got it in time, they have got it for a very
reasonable tax?
Very reasonable price, extremely reasonable price, 55 million. I'm guessing that's probably 55 million. I don't know if there's any add-ons in that, or if they decide, you know what, we're not going to do 5 million add-ons if we win the Premier League and Champions League, we're just going to give you the extra 5 million to get this deal done. Maybe West Ham were more desperate for the money than we realised, because they've clearly been in a rush to get this deal.
That loan, did they?
They didn't, and obviously they didn't want to wait for Chelsea to get involved as well. Even up until about an hour ago, Paul O'Keefe was tweeting West Ham want between 60 and 70 million. He said there's no chance this deal gets done this week. He said that was like just before the news broke. So that was like kind of the noise we were hearing. But all of a sudden
this morning that the deal completely stalled.
Yeah, the deal was stalling, and clearly, because they wanted that money. But clearly, West Ham were very, very desperate to get this deal over the line. They're really desperate to get this money through the door because of this loan or whatever. Maybe that was the case. But look, forget all of that. Brilliant signing from Tottenham Hotspur. Solves a major problem on the right wing. It's a massive, massive coup, in my opinion, to get a player of this quality. It's the signing we've been asking for a long time, in my opinion. Yes, he's had his troubles last season, didn't have the best season, but I remember before he signed for West Ham, this was an unbelievable talent, and I think we were so jealous of West Ham when they did sign him. We've got one over on one of our London rivals as well. A cheap deal for one of their well, not cheap, but a good, reasonable price for one of their best players. It's got to sting if you're a West Ham fan, but I'm just so excited about how he's going to fit in at Tottenham.
Yeah, and I think he's going to fit in like a glove, to be honest. We've actually got proper options now on the right-hand side. 18 goal from last season, Brennan Johnson. He's got stiff competition now with Mohammed Kudus, which is unbelievable. Look, he is a Ghana international, but luckily for us, Ghana didn't make the African nations, so that's not going to be a problem for us. I think he's close to, if not the best dribbler in the league. I think the only guy that probably comes close to him is Jeremy Doku in terms of dribbling ability. I think he's definitely up there. Whether he's first or second, that remains to be seen. Maybe Doku is slightly ahead of him in terms of dribbling ability, but Kudus is definitely up there, and it's something that we've needed. It's a void that we've had in the squad for so long. Someone that can just get the ball on the deck and absolutely just ferociously run at his opponents. And this is what Mohammed Kudus is going to bring us. And I think his end product can go up leaps and bounds under Thomas Frank in this Spurs team. He's going to have better quality around him. And West Ham fans must be absolutely fuming right now. They must be seething. We saw earlier on the week, or back end of last week, if Kudus joins us, protests are going to be outside the London Stadium. I can't wait to see the fallout after this transfer. I can't wait to see their reaction when Kudus sticking it in back of the net at the London Stadium. So look, West Ham, this just shows you where you are in the pecking order, guys. It really does. We've just come along. We've taken one of, if not your best player. We've got a history of doing it as well. Jermaine Defoe, Michael Carrick, Canute, all
Carl
the players.
Parker took your captain.
You know what I mean? This is just football heritage playing out for you right in front of your eyes, people. Tottenham take that's where West Ham are in the food chain.
Wow.
you know what I mean? This is what it is, though.
It's 100%. We've come in, we wanted their best player. Not only was there not a Tottenham tax, we've probably got money off. We've got them for a cheaper deal, similar deal to what we got for like Brennan Johnson, cheaper deal than what they're marketing for the likes of Cunha and Mbuemo and Eze, these kind of players. Yes, you could argue maybe what he's shown he's not as good, but I think he's got the potential to be every bit as good as all those players I just mentioned. I think this is such an exciting signing. If you're a Tottenham fan, he's going to get bums off seats. He's going to get people, very, very excited when he's
Proper
on the pitch.
Tottenham player, isn't he?
Yeah,
Proper
he's going to
Tottenham player.
100%. And I think not only, as you say, gives us options on the wing, also in the number 10 position as well. Alternatives to Maddison and Decky can fill in on the left, can fill in up front. So versatile. And I just think it's all about getting his mentality right. It's all about getting his mind right. And if you can do that, you've got an incredible, incredible player and incredible talent there. And he's already shown he could do it in the Premier League. He had that wonderful first season at West Ham, where I think in all competitions he got nearly 30 goal contributions. So I think he's already shown what he's capable of. It's all about just getting that on a more consistent basis and getting that talent everyone was so excited about in that first season and before he joined West Ham. Not only that, this guy has big game ability. He played at a World Cup and was brilliant for Ghana. I think he was their best player. I think in one of the games he scored a brace as well. Like I remember against Portugal, I think he was man of the match. I think they ended up losing, but he was like one of their best players on the day. This guy can do it on the big stage. He doesn't get frightened. I think he's one of these players on the big occasion. He can turn up, and I've seen him for West Ham as well. When he comes up against the bigger teams, he always seems to find an extra level and show up. So I think that's going to be something really of value. And I think just the different tactical flexibility and the different things he can do, different threats in our armoury, I think it's a real coup for Tottenham to get him.
And we all talk about, we've spoken about it for years, right? Well, not for years, for the last couple of years, about taking that forward line onto the next level. We're talking about signings that have come in the last 2-3 years to really try and take that forward line onto the next level. And I don't think we've really done that to a big way, but I think this signing actually signifies that. I really think it does. He's a player with elite abilities in certain aspects, and I think the other aspects where he's not elite at, I do think he can massively improve in. So I'm delighted with this signing. I cannot wait to see the fallout between the West Ham fans. And Sky Sports are also reporting that Spurs remain interested in Wissa even after agreeing Mohammed Kudus deal as well. So if we can get both of those over the line, that would be
phenomenal. That'll be really great business. That was the worry, obviously, when the Western news was breaking, that is it going to be instead of Kudus, but it seems like it's going to be as well as Kudus, which would be absolutely phenomenal. Maybe this Western news, as you said, did it scare West Ham into agreeing a deal because they were looking like maybe Tottenham were moving on from Kudus? But it seems as though something's happened in the past few hours, because this deal has been agreed and over the line for a fee well below what was reported West Ham were going to agree. So 55 million for Mohammed Kudus.
It's pretty mad when you think about it, what's actually happened during this transfer. Not only has Kudus come out and said he only wants to join Tottenham, not only have we bought a player off a team that hates us, deep hatred for us, but we've also got him for a fee which is 20 million or 30 million below his release clause, which is mad when you think about all those things put together. Like, can you imagine that happening the other way around with us selling a player like that to Arsenal?
Yeah,
there'll be absolute riots going on.
Will you pay the release clause, you go away, and no chance we're letting go for anything below that. And even if we're open to selling, we're not going to give them. They've been giving us a bit of a discount here. So if you're a West Ham fan, if you've seen how this business has unfolded, you've got to be a lot of anger there, I think, and there's got to be a lot of disappointment at least, and frustration with how this deal has happened, because I think Tottenham have kind of pulled their pants down a bit with this deal, because
100%.
they've not just from the negotiation standpoint, where West Ham seemingly stubborn on a certain price, seemingly wanting to make it difficult for Tottenham because we're a rival, and then we've come in, we've paid the patient game. Clearly, Levy or the hierarchy knows something, or they must do. They know something that we don't, because they've decided we're going to wait. We're gonna basically be patient here. We know West Ham need the money. We're going to put this offer on the table, and we know they need to take it, and they did know, because they took it, and they took the offer for 55 million. We've got our player over the line. It's a phenomenal deal. I can't wait to see him in a Spurs shirt. I really can't.
He is going to be so exciting to watch. People, like I said, a proper Spurs player. Think about, look, he's not going to get to these levels in terms of Gareth Bale, but in terms of dribbling ability, in terms of when he gets the ball on that wing, bums are going to raise off seats, and you're just going, oh, yeah, go on, Kudus, let's see what you could do, because he's just going to lead that charge from the right-hand side, from the middle, whichever position he's playing. And just think about, like, the fans in the stadium whenever Gareth Bale got the ball, whenever David Ginola got the ball. I'm not saying he's going to get to those levels, but it's going to be of that kind of similar feeling of what you expect on a football pitch.
Yeah, when was the last time we had a player where when they get the ball, you just expect them to take them on and expect something to happen, expect them to be successful? It has been a long time. As much as Son's a brilliant player, but you never really expect him to be taking people on all the time and beating them. It happens occasionally, but this is the kind of player where, as you say, you get him in a one-on-one situation, just keep feeding Kudus. There'll be certain games where we'll just keep feeding Kudus, keep getting it to him, and he'll make things happen. And I can't wait for those games. And in the Champions League, he's got that experience as well. He's going to heighten the technical level. That dribbling ability, though, is the big thing we're just missing in this squad, and he's going to bring it in abundance.
Yeah. 100%. But it does beg the question now, what does happen with the other wingers that we have at the football club? I think Johnson obviously is safe. I think Tell's come in, obviously he's safe. But then it begs the question, what's happening with Sonny now? Is there a deal in place for him to leave the club? Just thinking purely of the squad numbers, I'd love to have Sonny and Kudus in the same team together under Frank. I think that would give us a dynamite front three with Sonny on the left, Kudus on the right, and Big Dom up top. But even with Tell on the left and Kudus on the right, you've got two different dynamic of wingers that will work really well on either side. That Thomas Frank's used to working with, like at Brentford, where he had Sade on the left and he had Mbeumo on the right. It can be similar to some aspects. But Odegaard as well. What is happening with these wingers? Because we can't keep them all at the club.
Yeah, it's a big question mark. Obviously, the rumours were about Son. The latest we've heard is he wants to stay now. So look, we're going to have to wait and see how the landscape plays out. Is there going to be some surprises? Will Odegaard leave on loan or something? Yeah, is there going to be a surprise in the offing when it comes to our outgoings? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how the land lies. But it's very, very interesting in terms of the outgoings because we've got big problems in our squad about squad numbers. But no getting away. Brilliant signing. Such an exciting signing. And getting one over at West Ham doesn't feel much better as well.
I am gassed, people. I am buzzing. I cannot wait to see the fallout once again from the West Ham faithful. But this is a brilliant deal for Tottenham Hotspur. Shows where West Ham are and where Spurs are in the food chain. He wanted to come to the European champions. Who could blame him? Who could blame him? But look, we'll be going live a bit later on tonight to gauge more of your opinions and to see where the fans' head is at with this signing. But that's it from us for this moment in time. Kudus is going to be a Spurs player. We got the here we go. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs!